Yo, what's up with y'all? It's JD and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how we can continue training through calisthenics injuries. So recently I just injured my shoulder. I actually injured my rotator cuff. It wasn't anything that had to do with any specific movement that I did, but it was just the fact that I was overtraining. So I'll probably say maybe the last month and a half, I was training, before the injury that is, I was training probably 2 times a day. I'd come in the morning, do a workout. Me and my lady friend, we was getting workouts in the morning. I'd probably do about 7 exercises. And then what I was doing was I was coming back later in the evening and either I was working on plyometrics or I was working on skill training. So doing that consistently 7 days a week for a month and a half is way too much training. And for me personally, I have a problem telling myself no when it comes down to training. Some people have a problem telling themselves no when it comes down to whatever it may be in life. For me, I'm passionate about calisthenics. So for me, I want to do it all the time. It's something that I love doing. But, you can imagine how difficult it was for me mentally. I'm just like, damn, I really want to train. And one of my favorite movements is doing pull-ups and doing muscle-ups and doing a lot of pulling exercises. But that in particular is what was being triggered by this injury or whatever. So basically, whenever I try to do pull-ups, whenever I try to do any pulling exercises, it was really hurting my shoulder. So let's cut straight to the chase. So how do we stay lean? How do we stay shredded? How do we stay strong throughout these calisthenic injuries? So basically what you're going to want to do is avoid any movements that are going to cause any pain or make you feel uncomfortable in any way. And this isn't just something that I'm telling you. I've actually spoken to medical professionals. I went in and saw a physical therapist, and they all told me the same thing. They're basically saying, don't stop being active, don't stop working out, but there's going to be a little bit of trial and error in terms of seeing what movements bother you as far as pain and what movements don't bother you at all. So for me, luckily I've been able to do a lot of pushing exercises. I've actually had this rotator cuff injury before, maybe 2 or 3 times before. And all the times I've had this rotator cuff injury, it always affected my pulling movements for whatever reason. And a lot of times when I was doing pushing exercises, it doesn't hurt. So even for me right now, I can still do handstands and it doesn't really hurt my shoulder. I can still do push-ups, I can still do dips, and it doesn't really cause me that much pain. But for me, I took a couple weeks off of doing pull-ups, and that's something that I love doing. But anyways, let's cut straight to the chase. What are some exercises and what are some things that you're going to need to keep in mind while you're going through a calisthenics injury? You're not always going to be going through a shoulder injury. It might be an elbow injury, you might have a knee injury, but we have to figure out ways to stay in shape. So number one thing for me is calisthenics is a light man sport. So in terms of staying light, I don't want to put on too much weight. So for me, what I've been focusing on probably more than anything else is I've been doing cardio. And before I got injured, I really wasn't doing too much cardio. I was doing some high intensity stuff, plyometrics, sprints, jumps, things of that nature. But I've kind of been slacking off on my cardio anyway. So I use this as a good opportunity to get back on my cardio grind. And surprisingly, a couple weeks into doing cardio like 5 days a week, I'm starting to feel really good. I'm actually starting to enjoy doing cardio again. I've been running on the weekends. I've been doing a little bit of running during the weekdays, and then I go and run the convention center stairs over here in Honolulu. So I did that earlier today, and then I came out to this park here, Alawai Park, and getting a little bit of upper body work in as well. So what are some of the things I'm doing for upper body? I said earlier, dips, push-ups, maybe some tricep extensions, but I'm doing it on a higher bar. And also, one thing that I've been focusing on this entire 2 weeks is I've been going hard on my legs. I've been doing more plyometrics exercises. I've been doing regular calisthenics exercises when it comes down to leg exercises like squats, lunges. I've been doing a lot of knees over toes, and that's knees over toes exercises. Those are really good for protecting your knees and, as they say, creating bulletproof knees for yourself, so it limits the knee injuries. So these are some things that you're going to want to keep in mind when it comes down to dealing with calisthenics injuries. Number one, you want to stay light. Number two, you want to avoid any movements that are going to trigger any pain. And then I'll probably say number three, calisthenics in every exercise involves the core. So you're going to want to keep a tight core. So you're really going to want to focus in on core exercises. For me personally, I don't really work out core exercises. I really don't do like knee raises or leg lifts or crunches or anything like that. But since I've been injured, since I can't do some of my upper body exercises that kind of incorporate the core, I can't do any skill training that really emphasizes the core, I've been doing a lot of knee raises, I've been doing some leg raises, I've been doing some work on the parallel bars, some hanging work, different things of that nature. And another thing that you're gonna wanna do, and this is something that I actually been doing even before I got injured, is making sure that you stay mobile. Make sure that you're stretching, make sure that you're doing your active stretching before your workouts, make sure you're doing more static stretching after the workouts, and you just wanna stay mobile in general because, you know, mobility work is probably the #1 thing that can prevent a lot of injuries, you know, along with not overtraining or, you know, doing anything stupid like that. But, you know, injuries are part of the process when it comes down to calisthenics. You know, that's probably one thing that I'll probably want to hammer home with you guys, is that no matter who you are, no matter how much you train, even if you're not training 7 days a week, even if you're not training 2 times a day, even if you're just training 3 days a week or 4 days a week, injury is gonna come. You know, injuries come along with the process. That's just a part of dealing with calisthenics. It's just a part of anything in life. We're always gonna have setbacks. So the main thing is keep a positive mindset through these setbacks. And that's one thing that I've actually, you know, I do have to give myself a pat on the back for this, is that I never got down, not once. Of course, I love doing pull-ups. I love training skill exercises. But for me, I kind of purposefully looked at it as, look, you know, my body's telling me something. I was overdoing it on this. My body's telling me I need to start training another way. This is just an opportunity for me to expand my game. You know what I mean? This is another opportunity to work on some of these other tools that I have in my tool belt, be it cardio, be it plyometrics, be it whatever, mobility, anything like that. And on top of that, you're also going to be wanting to watch your diet a little bit more. If you're training less, you're going to want to eat less as well. So intermittent fasting, of course, I'm always going to preach that, but just making sure that you're eating clean meals and paying attention to the stuff that you're eating. But anyways, guys, I just want to share with you guys what's been going on with me the past few weeks when it comes down to my calisthenics training. Like I said, my training's slowed down a bit, but in a way I feel like I needed it. And honestly, the funny thing is before I had even injured myself, the day that I was driving down to the park that day, and I literally missed every single light. I was a red light every single time. And as soon as I got to the park, you know, I was talking to my homegirl and I was like, man, it's funny. I was like, it must be a sign that I need to slow down or something, because normally it takes me like 8 minutes to get to the park from my house. That day it almost took 20 because I was getting stopped at every single red light. So I told her, I was like, man, you know, that's just a sign maybe I need to slow down in some way. And then boom, 45 minutes later I injured my shoulder. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm not calling myself a psychic or anything like that, but you know, it was definitely a sign. And you know, it slowed me down, but it kind of slowed me down in a good way. And sometimes we need to be slowed down in life and kind of go a little bit easier and take it easier on ourselves. We don't always have to put so much pressure on ourselves to, you know, perform at our optimal level, or put so much pressure on ourselves to gain this new skill, or put so much pressure on ourselves to gain this new knowledge, or whatever it may be that you're working towards in life. Take it easy, you know, be kind to yourself. And when it comes down to these setbacks, just realize that it's an opportunity for us to expand our game in another way. But anyways, guys, if you guys are interested in any personal online training, hit my website up. That's Travelsthenix.com. Book a free consultation with me today. Also, I have some workout programs on there. One is a beginner program. One is more of an intermediate program for people who kind of have a little bit of a base in calisthenics. I also have an ebook on intermittent fasting and also a recipe book if you guys want to check those out. I'll holler at you guys later. I hope everybody's having a great day. Peace.